Hi, boys, and welcome to Friday, January 22nd. It is Friday. We've had a very good week, haven't we? Let's start our day in prayer. Thank you for the world so sweet. Thank you for the food we eat. Thank you for the birds that sing. Thank you, God, for everything. Amen. And in that prayer, we mentioned thank you for the birds that sing. And today we are going to talk about winter birds. Your paper is going to look like this. This is my paper finished. And this bird has a scarf and a hat on. So we're having some fun with our winter birds. And by winter birds, I mean the birds that stay with us through the winter and don't fly south. So we're going to read a book today about Ice is Nice. And in this book, you're going to see a few winter birds. We're going to do a worksheet on snow plow twins. And we're going to read a book, one of my favorite, my friend Stella. She is the queen of the snow. And then we're going to make our bird feeders, our pine cones that have, I think yours has some twine on it so you can hang it from the tree. And of course, I gave you some bird seed. Ooh, that I just spilled all over the place. Oh my goodness, boys. All right, so let's jump into our day. The first thing I want to do is read Ice is Nice. But I think before I do that, we should do our I Love Ice song. I love ice. I love ice. It's so nice. It's so nice. I love to put ice in my drink. I love to skate around the rink. I love to play with ice in the sink. I love ice. I love ice. These are my mittens. What are they for? They keep my hands warm when I walk out the door. And that is for sure. We need that today because today is Chilly Willy. Okay, so Ice is Nice. Let's see some pictures of what's going on. Ice is frozen water. Ice is frozen water. Snowflakes are ice, and frost is ice. And there's one of our snowbirds. Sleet is ice, and hail is ice that falls all seasons. So this is pretty funny. Look at this sleet. It's little balls of ice, and they can be tiny balls, or they can be as big as a golf ball. And it can hail in the summer. It's crazy. It could be so warm, and then we can get hail. Pools of water froze. They freeze on cold days. Ponds turn into ice. So you can see the freezing starts here, and then this pond turns into ice. So it might be ice on the top. If it's safe to walk on, I don't know. It could be a real thick layer of ice, or it could be a real thin layer of ice. So if we stepped on it, we would fall through. So we have to be careful with ice on water. Dripping water can freeze, making these beautiful long icicles. Ice is slippery, and ice is nice for skating. These children are ice skating. Ice is nice for fishing. So see, she just cut a hole and she's putting her pole down to get some fish. And we have to watch out for ice storms because when we get a lot of ice, ice is very heavy and it can bring down some electrical poles or telephone poles. So we have to be very careful. Today in class, we did an experiment. We had talked about that yesterday. We did an experiment on icebergs. So we took bowls and we filled them with water and we put them in a big, after they froze, we put them in a big bucket of water to see whether they would float and if we could put our Arctic animals on them. Well, we decided today that when we tried to do that, it didn't work. The animals were falling off because the surface of the iceberg was too small. And because it was too small, the animals kept slipping off. So we went back to the drawing board. We got bigger bowls. We filled them with ice and we're freezing them tonight. So when we come in on our next day of school, we're going to try that iceberg experiment again. But you can look on Facebook for today and you can see the pictures of what we tried to do, but we didn't have much success. And that's what's fun about an experiment. You're not sure if it's going to go well or if the experiment's going to fail. So we learned a lot today and we made some predictions about what was going to happen with our next icebergs. So if hopefully, fingers crossed, if that works out, then I'll have some pictures or a video of our successful icebergs. All right, let's move on to Snow Pal Twins. This worksheet right here, Snow Pal Twins. And our direction says color the 2 Snow Pals in each row that are the same. Now we know rows go this way. All right, so the first row that we're gonna do, if it helps you, you could even fold the paper. So we're just concentrating on this first row. And we're looking, there's 3 Snow Pals, and we're looking for the 2 that match. Now I'm gonna help you out here. These guys look very similar. This guy, they have earmuffs on, and this guy has a hat on, if I'm correct. Yes, a hat. So I'm going to say that these 2 Snow Pals look the same. Tongue twister. Now, what you can do is you can just color something on your Snow Pal that's the same. You don't have to, I mean, the snowmen are white, so there's not a lot you can do with them anyway, but you're just coloring them. Or if you don't want to color, which I'm fine with because you boys do a lot of coloring, I know I make you do a lot of coloring and a lot of painting, you can just circle them if you want. Up to you. I'm going to show you both. I'm going to show you ones that I've colored, and then I'm going to circle them so you get the idea of what we're doing. All right, so I colored them the same, and I also circled them. Now we're going to go down to our next row. And if it helps you, you don't have to do this, but if it helps you, here's our next row. And let's take a look at our Snow Pals in our next row. And let's talk about what's different and what's the same. All right, so they all have their stick arms and hands. They all have buttons, but I'm spying on these 2, it looks like they have ties, like dress ties you might wear with a suit. And this friend has a striped scarf like Harry Potter. And if we look on their heads, what do we see? I see these hats with kind of like a bump on the top. And then this is just a half a circle or a moon on the top. So you need to pick out the 2 that are the same. And you're going to go ahead and you're going to circle them or color them in. I'm just going to circle them for now. And you can circle them, and then you can go back and color them in when it's coloring time too. All right, let's go back down to our 3rd row. And I'm going to, again, fold the paper. All right, and here's our 3rd row. Let's look and see on your 3rd row which 2 Snow Pals look the same. And you're going to go ahead and either circle the 2 that are the same or color in the 2 that are the same. And then we're going to move down to the 4th row, and we're going to do the same thing. And the 4th row gets a little tricky because they really do look alike, don't they? But there might be a little difference in a scarf or a hat or their hands. So you really have to check them out closely, and you're going to circle the 2 that are the same or color them in. And that's our Snow Pal Twins. And you know why I like that? Because I happen to know a really cool set of twins. Maybe you've met them. Oliver and Graham? Oh, you know them. Good. Yeah, they're my friends too. And they are pretty cool twins, like my Snow Pal twins. Okay, silly Miss Sheila, right? So we're just going to put that aside. All right, and then later we are going to do our winter bird. Now, what I did with him is I traced him with markers, and then I colored him in with crayon. But you certainly can color it all with crayon, color it all with marker. You can paint it, whatever you feel like doing. You're going to take this piece of paper and you're going to put the 4 dots on the back, and then you're going to glue it right on to your construction paper. Especially, you're going to do this especially if you're painting. If you're just coloring, you don't have to put it on the construction paper, but that's up to you. So I'm going to put that aside. We don't need to do that together. That's something that you can do on your own. I'm going to hold up this picture again so you can see what mine looks like. But like I always tell you, it's your own creation. You do not have to copy what Miss Sheila does. Everybody gets to do their own creation. All right, so let's get to our bird feeder. Okay, so the reason I picked a pine cone for our bird feeder is it's bird friendly. Birds know what pine cones are. They're used to seeing them, so they're not going to be scared to approach this. I put some twine on so we can hang it on a branch. All right, and I talked to you on your Zoom call about using peanut butter, because I'm using something a little different because in school I can't use peanut butter. So you're going to just take that peanut butter, and you can use your finger, or you could use a Q-tip, or you can even use like a spoon or maybe a plastic knife. And you're just going to rub that peanut butter all over your pine cone. And the reason we're using the peanut butter is, number one, birds like peanut butter. It's safe for them, and the peanut butter is going to hold our bird seed. So after we cover our whole pine cone with peanut butter, and especially get the top, because you can really get a lot of bird seed to stick on the top. And then after you have this all covered, you're going to take your container of bird seed. I'm just going to put mine in here. Okay, you're going to take that, and then you're going to make sure, it probably might even be easier if you had a paper plate, and you could just kind of hold it over the paper plate and just take, let me get this set up here like this, take your bird seed and just sprinkle it all over. And you can see that I don't have anything on mine. I didn't put my peanut butter or my syrup that I'm going to use, but it'll stick in between the pieces, the leaves on the leaves on the pine cones, or right here, if you have a lot of peanut butter, you're going to stick it. I'll just put some on here, but it could stick like that, and you can see how much peanut butter is going to really help that stick on. All right, and the goal of this is to get as much bird seed as you can to stick on your pine cone. Okay, and like I said, it's, use a paper towel or a paper plate so we're not getting bird seed. Or, you know what, if it's nice outside, like right now it's nice and it's not too cold, you could do this outside. That would be the perfect thing to do, but it's going to depend on what the weather's like when you're making your bird feeder. Okay, and then when you're done, when you have all of your peanut butter and your bird seed on, then you can go ahead and hang it. And you can keep making this all winter. When it's done and the birds have eaten all the peanut butter and the bird seed off, you bring it back in, you can put more bird seed on it, and you can put more peanut butter and bird seed on it. But if you're going to do that after the first time, it's okay. The second time, if you want to do it again, you just need to be careful because animals have touched it, and you want to make sure that you're being safe and using hand sanitizer or washing your hands after, if you're going to touch it after the animals have touched it. All right, so I'm going to put that aside. I'm sure that Mom and Dad can help you with that bird feeder if you need help. It's probably going to smell so good with that peanut butter that you're going to want to eat it yourself. But maybe just eat the peanut butter. All right, so I'm going to end our day with Stella, the queen of the snow. I love Stella. She is just a happy girl, and she loves the snow, and I love her book. And she has Sam here, Sam and their dog looking out the window. Sam had never seen snow before. This was his first snowstorm. So he's looking out that window. He is pretty excited. Isn't it beautiful, Sam? Asked Stella. It's very white, said Sam, and it makes me sort of dizzy. Come on, Sam, said Stella. Let's go outside. Is the snow cold? Said Sam. Is it hard? Is it icy? Snow is as cold as vanilla ice cream, answered Stella, and it's as soft as a baby rabbit's fur. I think she's getting a little impatient with her brother. Can we eat the snowflakes? Asked Sam. Polar bears do, said Stella. They eat snowflakes for breakfast. With milk? Asked Sam. Yes, said Stella, and sugar. Let's make a snowman, Sam, said Stella. Do snowmen sleep? Said Sam. In a soft, fluffy snowbank, said Stella. What do snowmen eat? Asked Sam. Snowballs, sang Stella. Snow peas and snowsuits. Do snowmen eat green snowsuits? Asked Sam. No, said Stella. They only eat pink ones. Why do you think he's asking that? What color is his snowsuit? Are you sure? Said Sam. Let's go skating on the pond, said Stella. Where's the water? Asked Sam. The water's frozen, said Stella, like a giant silver popsicle. Are the frogs frozen too? Asked Sam. No, said Stella. They're sleeping under the ice. Come on, Sam, said Stella. Put on your skates. Not right now, said Sam. I'm listening to hear the frogs snore. Hey, Sam, why is fog coming out of my mouth? When it's cold, Stella said, your words freeze. Every word has a different fog shape. See? I can't read yet, said Sam. Then, I don't know, let's just build a fort. Where does the snow come from? Asked Sam. Where does the snow go in the summer? How many snowflakes are there in a snowball? I don't know, Sam, sighed Stella. Come and help me. Just a minute, said Sam. I'm counting snowflakes. Look, he's down here counting snowflakes. Let's climb up the mountain, said Stella. Why? Said Sam. For what? Then we'll slide down, said Stella. Will we go fast? Asked Sam. Faster than a bird, said Stella. Faster than an airplane. Will we be able to stop? Said Sam. Stop? Asked Stella. Who wants to stop? Hop on. No, thanks. I think I'll just walk. Do dogs get cold? Asked Sam. No, said Stella. Dogs have fur. Do birds get goosebumps? Asked Sam. No, said Stella. Birds wear snow boots? Like mine? Asked Sam. Yes, said Stella. Only much smaller. Let's make a snow angel, said Stella, with wide feathery wings. Do snow angels fly? Asked Sam. Do snow angels sing? Of course, said Stella. Can't you hear them? Yes, I think I can, whispered Sam. I think I can. The end. Wow, Sam had a lot of questions for Stella, didn't he? She had a lot of good answers. All right, so I hope you have a super fun time making your bird feeder. And I like that we're making bird feeders so we can be kind to our friends in nature, our friends, the birds, because sometimes in the winter when it's cold, it's hard to find food. And even when they find food, sometimes it's frozen to the ground. So it's nice that we are helping our friends, the birds. I loved talking about ice because ice is nice. And we have our Snow Pal twins we're working on. And then when you're done and it's coloring time or painting time, we're going to do our winter birds. So let's end this day with a winter song. Let's see. There are snowflakes in my hair. There are snowflakes everywhere. So sing with me about the snowflakes that you can see. We saw some snowflakes on, is it Wednesday this week? We saw some snowflakes, and that was pretty fun, right? And how about our square? Squares have 4 equal sides, equal sides, equal sides. Squares have 4 equal sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great job, great job. I will see you boys on Monday. Have a super weekend. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.